I gave us to answer were the ones I think were the ones in the red. Or was it the ones I
Yes,
did?
we answered the ones in red in class.
Okay, yeah. So okay, we did was it number three that was okay, list all the movie titles. I think this one is
It's part of the questions. It's part of the questions.
was it this one? Wait, which one was it this one you're having issues with?
No, 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 not this one. Go down, go down.
Okay.
Rental, recent rentals, number 8 on your page.
Number eight.
Number 8 on your
Number
page.
eight.
Number 8, you just,
Okay,
number
okay,
8,
sorry, I just passed it. Sorry.
number
Yes.
8 on your
List
page.
all the rental records where the rental date occurred after 2023 this thing. Okay, I can see why you had an issue. The thing is that okay, let's do it together. Let's do it together. I see why. I see why. But let's do it together. But okay, let's do it together. So rental records where the what's it called? Where the rental rate is past the year 2023 0601. So the reason, let me just say the reason why I had issues, but I just left it there. The reason was because remember I said this we're working on a DVD rentals database from around 2006. So actually, like the time where people used to rent DVDs a lot. So actually, you would not see anything after 2023 because there's no data for even up to 2023. But still, let's see how we will still write the queries for this. So that will be select all. Okay, the question is a bit, yes. So there's rental. So if you can see, there's actually rental table. So let me do select all from rental. Select all from rental. That's what's going on there. Interesting. So this is how we will start it. If we actually, let's say, in the data, we actually have, let's say in the question or basically in database, we actually have data for after 2006. So, but we don't, but still, let's see how we write it. So select all, yes, from rental, rental dates. So where, so let me break this down a bit the way I like doing. Select everything, select in one line from the next line, right? So where rental dates. So we can see rental date all the way here. Rental date is greater than where? 2023 06. So it doesn't exist.
Yeah,
But
0601.
So I was correct.
yeah. So I don't think it exists. So it doesn't exist. But we could try 2005, for example, if you want to just be able to use this date to query something. Okay, 2005 exists. The data is just between 2005 and 2006. 2005 and 2006 because those were the times, if you can remember, where nowadays everything is online, everybody's streaming Netflix and everything. Those were the time, but I decided to just leave the question like that to confuse
What
you.
about
And
number
maybe
5, short movies?
number five, short movies. What was the question again? Find movies with the duration. Okay, this one is easy. This one is easy. Find movies with a duration less than 60 minutes. Right? Find movies with a duration. So let's answer this together. So first of all, we're looking at the film table. Let's confirm by saying select all from film. Select all from film. Because we're trying to see the movie duration. So I know it's a film table, but let's confirm. We'll see somewhere duration, not rental duration. Rental duration is in days actually. So that would be like length. Is this length we're looking at? This length here tells us how long the movies are or is in minutes, basically. Length of the movie, length of the film, because this is a film, this is the film table for the film. We have the things like the title, the description. So when it comes to The release year, when it comes to length, it's a film table, so it's length of the film basically. So basically, once the question was that we should find movies with duration less than 60 minutes. So basically, we want the length of the movie to be less than 60 minutes. So select. We're just interested in the title of the movie, and this time select title from film. Where what? Where length, length, right, is what less than 60. Let's run this. There we have it. So we can also
this
say
one I've got.
length. Yeah, is that what you did?
Yeah, I've got that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So we can also say length also, so that we can confirm that all these things are what's it called, less than 60 minutes. So you can see the length of his Goldfinger, Alien Center, Alta Victory. You can see the lengths. They are not up to 60. If I wanted them to be up to 60, I would have said maybe greater than equal to, but not like I don't still want it more than 60, but I want it up to 60. So greater than equals to 60. I might see something exactly 60. So I think I saw something just now. I saw something 60. Yes, bubble gross or bubble gross, anyhow you want to pronounce it. Bubble gross, bubble gross. So we can see that this one is actually 60 minutes in length. This is actually 60 minutes in length. So the thing is that SQL is sweet, but we're building up. We're building up while setting our foundations, and we're building on top of it, and we're going to basically build a skyscraper with this. So let's continue. So that's number 10 accounted for. Number 8 accounted for. So let me paint it red. Number 10 accounted for. Number 8 accounted for. And we've basically been able to answer all of this. So let me change it to red. Yes. So shall we continue filtering with the where? So let's display movies with a rental rate between 2 and 5. So you can see 2.00 and 5. So it's basically 2 and 5. So how will we write this? So far so good. In the where, we understand at this point. So what we can use in the where from what we've like been able to cover. So we understand that what we can use, what we use in the where. Let me just say where. We can use greater than, we can use less than, well, let me just put greater than equal to, greater than equal to. We can use less than, we can use less than equal to. We understand this one. We can also use equal to. So far so good. This is what we'll be using, right? So what we can also use in the where to filter where something, like if you notice, when I say where, I will not just say, for example, this one I wanted the movie length less than 60. I didn't just mention where less than 60. If I run this, I will receive an error because why? I'm not specific enough. I'm not specific enough. In SQL, you have to, specificity is very important. Where what? Where what is less than 60? Okay, I want to select title and length. That's very interesting. Okay, you understand that? Okay, like it can't just work yet because like where is title and length coming from? Of course, we understand that part. Okay, from the film. It's coming from a film. Interesting, right? Very interesting. We are seeing the answer. But yeah. Okay, I would. Okay, that would take a short while, but I can do that. I would. I've not really opened the one we. You know what? Let me open a
I'm
query
saying
tool.
the one you are painting so that you see at times you can do a query, but after class you just don't remember what you did. But you can send it after class. Thank you.
No problem. No problem. No problem. So what I'll do, I will just in case, so I will not forget, I would open a new query tool so that there is actually a, what's it called? There's actually a query SQL file that we have been using since the beginning, since the inception. So let me open that and continue there. Let me open that and continue there. I think it's called beginners.
I'm
But I'm
saying
not
the
sure.
questions.
The question, oh, the questions, not the queries. Okay, no
Yes.
problem. If it's the questions, there's no issue. Maybe question, there's no issue. So let's continue. Let's continue. I'll send the questions after class. So all the questions. So yes, let's continue. We're saying, okay, what we know how to use in SQL, so far so good. We know how to use greater than, you know how to use greater than equal to, and what I was just saying just now was that like specificity is important. If I just say where less than 60 or less than equal to 60, it won't work because where what is less than equal to 60. In our case is the length. So I have to specify LANGTH. So we understand this, I'm very sure by now. But let's continue. The question we're seeing here is a bit different now. Because now between this is basically a range. You're saying where the range is 2 and 5, basically. Right? I want to see the movies with where the range of the rent, like the rental rates, the range of the rental rate is between 2 and 5. So it's just straightforward. Literally, I've given you the answer just in the question. We're going to use something called between. So we're going to use a filtering in the where, yes. And we're going to use the between clause. So let's answer the question. Let's answer the question. So select title. So we know it's the film table we're interested in, right? Want also the rental rate. So just in case, to not confuse us, remember I always like or I always advise to check the entire column you are using. For example, select all from film. Because we're interested in rental rate, but like how does it look like actually in our what's it called, in our table? So in this case, if I scroll down, rental rate, okay, rental underscore rate, okay. Select title, rental rates. So I just want to add the rental rate there. Yeah, from film, okay. So let me also space this down and let's move down. Yes, from where? From film. Interesting, right? Now where? So this was mentioned in the question where the rental rates, rental underscore rates. Between, I will not say is between. I'll say between. Before, when we're using greater than and less than, I will not say where length is less than. I will not say where length is greater than. I will not say is. I'll just directly, okay, call the column. And you see between, rental rate between. Between what? 2.00. All right, let's even look at the rental rates. Okay, we have decimal points, so that's okay. 2.00 and you can see between and there's a range. I'm not saying okay, let me just finish this. 5.00. Title rental rates from film. Where rental rates, I'm not saying where the rental rate, no, where rental rates, where this column between 2 and 5. So let's run it and see. So you can see the answer. It's between 2 and 5. It's between 2 and 5. I did not say select all, so let me copy this. I did not say select all from film where rental rate between 2 and right to 5. Doesn't work. Let's check it out. Syntax error. Between 2 and what? Between 2 and 5. Like that's the range. I will not say 2, 5. I would say and 5. So actually, there are some other interesting things I need to show you. Or I need to tell you. So when you are actually working with the filters, right, there are also other important. So apart from the greater than, less than, and now we're learning it between. There are also other operators you need to take note of. What do I mean? So normal, these are comparison operators. The what they call them, the greater than, less than, etc. Right? We also have other important things to take note of. Things to take note of now, between. So between. And you're already seeing new things already. You have the or I'll have the not in. So very interesting things, very interesting things. As we go, as we continue, you might see examples referencing all of this. You might see examples referencing all of this, referencing all of this, referencing all of this. But just take note. But for example, I can show you all in action. So let's try it here and see if we can get anything meaningful, for example. Okay. So if I wanted to use or in this situation, I would say I will not do it just like the way I did between. Select title rate from this thing where rates. Let's say I want to see if the rental rate is 2 or the rental rate is 5. For example, this is how we use it. So where rental rate equals to 5, yes. Nothing is showing, right? Nothing is showing. So if I want to say 2 or 5, remember 2 or 5, not 5 or 2. So I'll say where rental rate, I can copy this. I can paste this. I can say where rental rate equals to 2 or rental rate equals to 5. So it doesn't really exist. It doesn't really exist in our data that the rental rate is equal to 2 or the rental rate is equal to 5. It doesn't exist in our data. That's not saying anything. But if I wanted to use the or statement, so I don't know if you were seeing my screen before. It's showing me participant can now see your screen. I don't know if it was visible before. But let's not digress too much. We'll come back to something like this again. We'll come back to something like this again within our data sets because we have a lot of questions to actually cover. These questions are just basically examples of how to work with each of these things. And you see interesting questions that address everything basically. So let's continue. Let's continue, but take note between, which you just did, rental rate between 2 and 5, rental rate between 2 or rental rate equals to 5. So it's actually very interesting. I could even spin it again, like to just test out things. If I wanted it to be 2 and something else, another filter, let's see, let me just talk about it. Right, so let's say select all. One more random example. Just show you how easy things are. So okay, so let's say rental rates equals to 2.99 or 0.9, yeah, 2.99. So let's change this, for example. So if I have a question like, oh, so let's I want to see the rental rates. I want to see the data about the movies where the rental rates is equals to 2.99 and the ratings, the movie what's it called, the movie ratings is PG, for example. Just random question on the fly. Okay, I want to see the movies that we have the rental rates being 5 and the ratings is a PG, or which other ratings should we look at? Should we look for R-rated movies? Yes, let's just use PG, and the ratings are PG. Let's see what's going on in our data. From that, let's see what's going on. So how am I going to do that? Very simple. So I'm just going to copy the syntax. It's just this syntax, but I'm going to play with it a bit. Just the syntax, but I'm going to play with it a bit. So rental rate equals to 2.99 and movie rating is PG. So where rental rate equals to, of course, 2.99. So instead of or, yeah, now you see rental rate equals to 2.99. So this column is equal to this, or what? I could also say this column equals to this, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't make sense in this case. So or rating, sorry, not or, if I make a mistake, and because you say where rental rate is 2.99 and the movie rating is PG, and what they call it in our data, and rating equals to, of course, I'm bringing the text PG. So let's see, do we have any movie with rental rate 2.99 and the rating is PG? Let's find out. We do. So Agent Truman, PG. Bill and the Others, Carol, Texas. So these are the films. So just to confirm, because we can't see we can't see a column showing whether it's PG or not. Of course, is the answer, but just to confirm, we could also see, let's also see the rating in the select statement. Just to confirm, now you're saying, okay, we have been able, so this is just, it's very straightforward. It's very straightforward. I could even show you all the example. I could just create examples on the fly that makes sense and show you. So this one now, we're looking for movies with rental rate 2.99 and movie rating PG. So you can see select rental rate. Remember, notes, we are working with this on the where. I did not say where rental, I had to say, okay, rental rate equals to this, rating equals to this. So for example, I could also say rental rate less than, I could say rental rate greater than etc, right? But I don't know if this is confusing or we understand this. If there's any question, go ahead and ask. Don't be scared. I just want to know if I'm the only one in the class. Nobody's commenting. Nobody's
No, you are
saying.
not. I'm listening, sir. I'm listening,
No
sir.
problem. No problem. No problem. No problem.
Mine is not bringing and I've written the same. Okay. I'm
Not
not
bringing the
getting
same
that.
thing. For which one?
The one that we are doing.
This last one I just did.
The PG.
It should give you something because it's giving me something. Same data.
Where
Same
the
database.
rental rate. Oh, I've not put and no, everything is okay. Select
Are
title
you
rental
sure?
rate from film where rental rate equals 2.9.
2.99.
Oh, I'll not put that one.
Try 2.99.
It's okay now. Thank you.
Yeah, so this is how we work it. So you're already seeing the and, you're already seeing the or in action. And or in action. We'll still give other examples where extensive examples. Extensive examples. After this, I don't want to scare you guys, but after maybe I don't think it's scary. If we can cover everything here, not everything though. Maybe we can cover most things here. We still have some questions in our bank, in our question bank, that we'll also use to explain some interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. So I don't know. Is that fine? Okay.
Yes.
I'll see that as that being fine. So let's go to the next question. Let's go to the next question. So far, so good. So the next question, I think I've scrolled down a little bit too much. Scroll down a little bit too much. Okay. So we have done this. So inactive customers, I'll leave that as one of our assignments. Inactive customers, I'll leave that as one of our assignments. So this is a bit early, but yes, I'll send that to you. Language ID equals to 2. This language ID equals to this. I might cover this again. It just looks like it might be a bit more complex. I'm just looking at it now. I could have looked at the question more. But yes, let's look at something very important: the order by, the order by, the order by, the order by. And before we look into the order by, I just want to give us more example of working with the where. So order by first, order by. But before this, we'll look at one more example of working in the where. So far, so good. If you have noticed, when we have been working within the where, we have mostly been what's the word? I've mostly been saying, okay, where rental rates, for example, now, for example, let's say we didn't add this and, but we've been okay, we've only been checking things, we've only been filtering by a specific criteria, not multiple criteria. What do I mean? In this one now, for example, if I copy this, so multiple criteria. If I copy this and paste, you'll see what I'm talking about more clearly. So I didn't say where rental rates equals to 2.99, because if you say select all, for example, select all, and you say from your film table, right? Select all from your film table. The rental rates, like what's going on in rental rate, there's several rental rates. There are several rental rates. If you go all the way, if you scroll all the way, there are several rental rates. What if I want to see not just where rental rate is 2.99, What if I also wanted to see where rental rate is what's it called? Is 4.99 and 0.99. What would we do in this situation? So take note, we have not really looked at working with working in the where with multiple this thing. So I'll show you, for example. So this question now is, let's look at the rental rates. Let's look at the rental rates. Let's look at the data. So want to see the title, want to see the title. Let's look at the titles and this thing. Let's look at the title and the rental rate title. Excuse me for my spelling. And rental rates. Where, okay, the rental rates is 0.99. So we'll answer two questions. 0.99, no, 0.99. We also want to look at 4.99. And we also want to look at the next one. I might ask one of us to answer it, 2.99, for example. So like this is multiple criteria. So like in terms of like the where now, I'm not just saying 2.99, basically. I'm also saying 0.99. So let me just copy this. Right? Basically, I'm also saying want to see, okay, what is 0.99? I also want to see what is 4.99. I also want to see what's 2.99. But what would we do in this case? I won't just say run this, you see error, right? Because like now we know how to say, okay, if we just want to see where the rental rate is 0.99, we can easily do that. That's easy peasy. Where rental rate equals 2.99. But how do we do? We want to see where rental rate is multiple of these things. How do we do it? So now what we do is that instead of what we'll be using, which is the rental rate equals to, yes. So instead of the what we've been doing, I would say rental rate equal to, we'll change this equal to now to something called in, in, like in. We'll change the rental rate to something we call the in. So where rental rate in, and we're not done yet. So anytime you're using the in, make sure to put the multiple things you want to see, or the multiple things you want to filter your columns by, or the data you want to output by, within a bracket. So I want to see, for example, where rental rate are all of these things, 4.99, 0.99, and 2.99. I'll say where rental rate not, I won't say equal to, I'll say where rental rate in. I'll say where rental rate in. So let's run this and see if we are correct. Not if we're correct, we're correct. So all the data sets, or all the answers we have, basically, you can see the rental rate is 0.99, 0.99, 4.99, 2.99. So the rental rate falls within these ranges. I don't think we need rating. We don't need rating. We can leave it there if you want, but I don't want that to distract us. So we can see now all the rental rates, either 0.49 or 0.99 or 4.99 or 2.99. So because like remember, the difference is that this is now multiple things. We're looking at multiple things, not just one thing. So I won't say equal to all of this. I'll say rental rate in. Where rental rate in. Where rental rate in. Before I show you another example, almost the same thing, basically. What if there's a question now? I reverse this question. What if I say, okay, I want to look at my data, and I want to say, okay, instead of where rental rates are these things, what if, let's find what the rental rates are not these things, basically. What do I mean? When rental rate is not, so let's look at our data. Let's see
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Oh, even I've seen it. I was wondering if the order matters, like from the smallest to the largest.
No, it doesn't matter. I'm the one that just put it in this way. It doesn't matter. We can always, we're getting there actually. We can always sort the order. We're getting that's what we call the order by. Remember, I said order by something same. Let's look at the order by. But I said, wait first. Let's do this. So we're getting to how we will sort the output. I don't know if you get. Okay, you might not get yet, but you'd see how we do it. So let's do this now. So what if we want to see, okay, the former one we just did now is, okay, where enter it in. right? What if what if what if one see where rental rate is not in, like it's not these things? What do we do? Literally, we just say not in. So instead of, okay, if I'm saying when rental rate in, because now I want basically rental rates for every other, like every other value of rental rates, but not all of this. So I'll say not in. So I don't know about you, but if it were me, there's a question that I'm already thinking of in my mind. So, but let's run this. So this basically will give us the rental rates for every other, like the rental rate values that are not 0.99, 4.99, and 2.99. And I don't know about you. Okay, so we don't basically is it that we give me a sec. Let me check this again. It seems the rental rates have been exhausted. Select all from film. Let's check something. 0.99, 4.99, 2.99. I think that's everything basically. So let me change one. Let me remove 2.99. I think the rental rates fall into just all these categories. So if I run this, you should only see 2.99. Yes. So the rental rates only fall into these three categories: 0.99, 4.99, 2.99. That's why when we put all the categories that the rental rate fall into or fell into, it didn't give us an output. So basically, now that we know it falls into these three, let's see, okay, we don't want to see these two. Let's see which other one, for example. And when we run it, you see 2.99, 2.99. So basically, where the rental rate is not 0.99 and 4.99, it's 2.99, and these are the movies for them. I don't know if this is looking confusing. I'm not hearing any response.
So for me, I'm okay.
Okay. So actually, we might spend a bit more time here. So I told you that this was arising questions for me. And probably, I don't know if it aroused questions for you, but so far so good. We have talked about in, and I told you, okay, if you want to bring multiple items, use the in. And I said, okay, if you want to see everything in your data, like basically now, like this one, we don't want to see everything else that it doesn't fall under this category. Basically, you said not in. So my question now is, if we go back to our common queries, I will say where something equals to this. How do we do it in terms of just one thing? Like now, where rental rate equals to 2. Let's say I want to see where rental rates are basically every other thing, but not 2. How do we do it? So that will be the question that will come to my mind, because I have showed you equal to, but what's not equal to? I don't know if you get, like, I don't know, probably that question didn't come to my mind, and the school is chill, it's all right. But like, what if we want to do it like that? How can we go about it? So it's still very easy. It's still very chill. It's still very easy. So basically, where rental rates, let me write it down, or let me write the answer first, which we're going to tweak. So find everything else. So this is just for one item, right? That is rental rate. By everything else, I mean the title. So find title. That is rental rate is not 2.00. Is that rental rate? I don't know again. Rental rates.
Yeah, 2.00 this thing on the rental rate.
Let me check it again. There's no 2.00.
There's no
Let's say 2.
2.00. It's just
Let's say 2.99.
2.99,
Yes.
0.99 and 4.99.
Yes. Yes. 0.99, 4.99. Yes, I was wondering what's going on. So how do we do it? It's very easy. It's very easy. So let's try. There are actually two methods. So I can say rental rate greater than less than. So I would say greater than, then less than. No, I'll say less than, then greater than. Less than and greater than, create this kind of thing. Let's run it and see if it works. Yes. This less than and greater than is basically not equal to. But there's also another way. I'm not so sure again whether it works for Postgres, but it should. Yes, it also works. So maybe this might be a bit better to remember. Not equal to basically is exclamation mark there equal to. Normally, if it's equals to 2.99, we'll say directly, we'll just say equals to 2.99, right? We get that part. But what if it's not equal to? You can just put an exclamation mark in front. So this one is easier to remember than greater than less than. So let's be using this one. So exclamation mark in front, then equal to is basically not equal to. So before, the one for multiple items is not in. The one for just not, you just don't want to see where one thing exists in your data is exclamation mark and equal to. So everything else in our rental rates, I hope I'm not being too fast. If you scroll down, scroll down, you won't see. You won't see, you won't see, you won't see. So let's answer one easy question. So let's see. I think I might ask one of us to share our screen for this.
Excuse
Can we
me.
see? Yeah, go ahead,
Excuse me.
please. Go ahead,
I
please.
don't. I'm sorry. Repeat on the exclamation mark.
So if I say, okay, I want to see something, I want to see the title and rental rate, yes, for the films, that's from film, right? That the rental rate is equal to 2.99. You just literally say where rental rate is equal to 2.99. That's the normal this thing is equals to 2.99. I mean, this is just one item. It's literally directly is equal to you say normally, right? You get that part. But what I'm saying is, what if you want to say, okay, that it is not, I specifically want everything basically. I want to see my data, right? Which is the title and rental rate, but I don't want to see where it is 2.99. Basically, I want everything else, but I don't want the value of 2.99. That's not equal to. So find rental rate that is not 2.99. So everything else that's not 2.99. How am I going to do that? So I'm just going to put, I don't know if it's called an exclamation mark, right? Exclamation mark before the equal to. That exclamation mark now will say signify not equal to. It's like saying, okay, I don't want it to be equal to. So in some places, I don't know, it's on this thing, some people, you can see exclamation mark as a warning. I don't know whether I've seen it in something before, it to be red or something, to be kind of big letter something. It's like, okay, not equal to 2.99. So if I run this, you can see the rental rates everywhere at 0.499 and 4.99, but they are not, and they can't be, what's it called? They can't be 2.99 basically.
So it's an alternative to not in.
Yes, it's like it's not it's an alternative, not to nothing. It's like saying I don't want to see where it is 2.99. I don't want to see, I want to see everything else, but not where it is 2.99.
I'm saying it's an alternative to not in, right?
So nothing. I don't understand what you mean by alternative to nothing. Please give me more. What does that
Like
mean?
your previous query. Your previous query was not in.
Okay, not in. So it is not, that's the thing. It is not an alternative to not in. Yes. Remember, first of all, one thing you need to note, I know I was a bit fast. One thing you need to note now, because we'll get some extra examples for this not in and whatever. I have some questions that we'll answer right now. So the not the in like what I mentioned before was that, okay, when we are normally say, okay, give me something where something is equals to this, that you literally just say where something is equals to this. But what if I just say, okay, like for example now, which there's a question which I will ask now. What if I say, okay, I want if I say I want to give me the titles, right, where the rating is PG. That one is easy. Select title from film where rating equal to PG. Do you get that one?
Yeah.
Sure you get that one. But what if I say, okay, I want where the rating is PG. I also want comma. Basically, I also want where the rating is let's say is what's it called? R rating. I also want where the rating is PG-13. I also want where the rating is PG-18. So like what will you do in that case? Basically, I want all to see all these like lists of ratings, so to say all these
I will
ratings
use
together,
in.
not just one specific. Yes, you say in. because now you are filtering by multiple items, not just one, not just PG equals not just rating equals to PG, but now you're saying rating equals to PG, comma. You also want to see where the rating is equals to arrow. You also want to see where the rating is equal to something else and something else, multiple items. That's where you're using in. But now the not in now is okay. I don't want to see the values for this set of multiple items. It's almost, yes, it's almost like you said an alternative, but what I would say is not really an alternative to not in. It's because of how in and not in, how because of how in and equal to work. In is for multiple, equal to is for single. So not in is for you don't want to see multiple, and exclamation mark equal to is it you don't want to see what is equal to something.
I don't get it. Kindly.
Hello,
Don't worry.
Glory, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
I said, what's going on?
We're talking about the not in, like when you're using it, like basically when you're trying to filter with where. Okay, where you don't want to see like the in now, you want to see like okay where like something has like the values of multiple items, like if something is PG and also maybe for example rating, and also maybe you want to see something that maybe is PG-13 also, like how you use the in within the where to look at specifically where like you have multiple items in, let's say a column or something, like basically like the opposite of equal to, let we say equal to PG. We just want to see where the what's it called rating is PG. But if you want to see multiple ratings, right, you can specify with the in. Yeah, we're just talking about difference between in, the not in, and now the equal to, and we're clarifying, oh, there's also like something for the equal to. If you don't want to see something that's directly equal to something, you can say, okay, not equal to. You want to see a value. You want to see like, okay, like this one now, not where the rental rate is not equal to 2.99. So I want to see all rental rates apart from where it is equal
Glory,
to
please. So
0.99.
what's your because when I came in, I came in a bit late. You kind of mentioned you still didn't understand. What's confusing?
No, I was just asking him the difference between not in and the exclamation for the now where we are currently. The exclamation equals, but
Oh.
now I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was telling him, for me, I think the exclamation and not in are the same. But now I've understood the exclamation is for a specific figure. Like you don't want
Okay.
the rate of these 2.99, but not in is not in is for like the selection. You don't want the 0.9, the 4.99.
Nothing is for a group in a bracket.
Okay, so can I ask you a couple of questions, Glory, if you don't mind?
Okay.
Sorry? Wait, hold on.
Okay.
Glory, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, give me, I apologize. So let me ask you a series of questions. Hopefully it may help. Okay, and these questions are based on a Poshem perspective, okay?
Okay.
So in Poshem, if we say Glory, who are we talking to?
A student doing SQL currently.
Okay, well, so what if we say Kawira, who are we talking to?
A student doing SQL.
Okay, what if we say Lynn, who are we talking to?
A student doing SQL.
So the point I'm getting at is all those values are equal to, we can say, okay, if we are using writing an SQL term, we can say, okay, where name equal to glory. It will give the same name, glory, Lynn, Kawira, correct?
Yes, yes.
If we say where name equal to Lynn, where name equal to glory, equal to career. However, when we use the in, in is basically saying if the name or if the value is one of these. In is basically saying if the name is glory, or if it is Kawira, or if it is Lynn. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And the reason why some people use that is for performance issues. Because when your instructor teaches you how to use OR, you will see that you may be able to get the same results using where name is Lynn or Glory or Kawira. But when we say example, if we want to find out, let's say we have an HR database, we want to find out people's salary. We can say where's salary in $20, $10, $30. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And not in is the opposite of, yes, go ahead.
So in essence, the way I've understood the instructor, the way he has explained in is for filtering several items.
Yes.
So like, for example, in 0.99499, it will filter all the data set 099 and 499. No, it's
Yes,
like
but
a
it has to
NOR
be,
figure.
yes, but it has to be in those two. It has to be, basically what you're asking it is, show me all the title and rental rate, that the rental rate is not 0.99 and is not 4.99. Does that make sense?
Yes, that one I've understood.
Where it is not, it's just look at it. Remember that example I know it was a fictional example of your fridge. The example we made up about what do you have in your fridge.
Yes.
Do you recall? Yes, it's like, okay, show me what. Then if you talk about the exclamation and equal to, that is just a fancy way of saying not equal.
Okay.
Because you can literally type NOT space EQUAL. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But it depends on, if you're using Postgres, Microsoft SQL Server, or PLSQL. This exclamation and equal to, it means not equal to. So if I tell you to show me a list of all Poshem SQL students where name, then I put exclamation and equal to, where the name is not equal to glory. What result do you think that will give us?
Everyone else apart from me.
Call the names. Yeah, who are the people apart from glory in the SQL class?
And maybe anyone else would have that name because people can share names.
Okay, so who are the people that that are not glory in your SQL class?
None.
Sorry?
None.
No? Is everybody's name in your class glory?
Oh, I thought you were saying the people you share name with.
No. We say not equal to, where the name is exclamation mark equal to glory.
Charles and William.
That's it. That's it. I don't know if it makes sense now.
Sure.
That's the whole point, but there are different ways of doing it. But so let's say you have multiple criteria. I'm looking for a car. Or let me say I'm looking for a job. I want the job to be in Kenya. I want it to be paying this amount. I want a job that is remote. I don't want to work from home. I don't want to go into office. What else do you look for when what else do people look for when they're looking for a job?
Excuse me.
So if you want to filter by all those criteria, that's an example of when you can use in. I want a job where job location in Kenya, Congo, Kinshasa, Zimbabwe, or Nigeria, then you close your brackets. Does that make sense?
Yes.
There's another one. I don't know if he has taught you guys this. There's another one called between.
Yes, we have done that one.
Okay, so it's between will be okay. Yeah, if the salary is between this range to this range. So now what's the difference with what's the difference? I can't use between to describe itself. So when you choose to use between instead of in, the example is this, or the reason is this: between, right? It will remove the first and the last. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yes, yes.
So if you say where the number or where the range is between 1 and 10, it will say, okay, it will start from 2 to 9. Because you are saying between. Between means it is in between. Okay, but if you say in would add, it would cover 1 and it will cover 10. When can you use these things? Most especially if you want to see, like you would mostly use between or something like that when you want to see salary range. I think we need to cut staff here. Who is making, all the people that are making the highest salary have to go. Who are the people making between 100,000 and 200,000? Let us see them first before they have to go. In Poshem, what criteria do we use to cut people? Anybody can guess.
Pardon?
We know now. What criteria do we use to come out to remove people or cut if the crowd is too much?
The
The
payment.
attendance.
Oh,
Remember when some of us started, you could not miss more than 2 classes. I don't know if anyone recalls that.
Yeah, I do.
So we can run a query, select student name from this, where attendance in 8 or 10. Or we can say 8, 10. Or we can say where attendance is between 1 to, we can say where attendance is between, let's say, 1 and 7. If your attendance is between 1 and 7, that means you didn't make 8 and above. We can also run the query where attendance is less than or equal to 8. The point is there are different ways of getting these results. But that question, exclamation mark and equal to is basically, you are saying is not equal to. That's all. It's just a fancy way of writing it. I don't know if we're able to help out, Madam Glory.
yes, yes, yes. Thank you.
No problem. Because the way you have in, not in. Equal, not equal. Some people may type it out, N-O-T space E-Q-U-A-L. You have between, okay, you have where, between. You have like and not like as well. But it will take some more practice. Mr. Charles and Mr. William, how are you guys doing? Any questions, concerns, or issues?
I'm fine, no question from my end.
No problem. We would be here to ask, help if it's needed. And I'm working on you guys' videos from the previous class as well. Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. Mr. Dr. Egosa, the show is back yours.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, so we'll be continuing from here. I still said, okay, let's look at one or two more examples to just solidify this. What we just learned. So, I don't know whether I should answer this or maybe leave it to Glory or Papa Charlie. But here's the question: we want to see what's going on in our data set, right? But we don't want to see where want to see the title and the rating, just like what we've been doing before, the title and the rating. But we don't want to see where the rating is PG-13. Can anybody attempt this? Where the rating is PG-13? The selector from film. If you say selector from film,
If you don't mind,
you'll be able to see. We can just quickly do this. To solidify this. So we don't want to see so if you check the PG rating, there's several things going on. I think we just passed it. There's several things going on. PG, there's G, PG-13. So basically, if I want to say, okay, where the rating is not PG-13. Oops, what I just do? Yeah, where the rating is not PG-13. I'm just copying the previous queries and pasting it and editing it. So instead of rental rates, so I would say rating, right? Where rating is what? Remember, we can either use this within Postgres, yeah, we can either use this exclamation mark, then equal to, and of course, PG-13 there, or, so I think this method is more preferred. or we can use this other method. So let me copy and paste. So not equal to PG13. So the other method, which is a bit more complex, not really complex, but it's a bit annoying to remember, is this, instead of exclamation mark and equal to, it will be this less than or greater than within Postgres or pgadmin. Within pgadmin, this is the other method. It's just that this other method is just, I don't know, it's a bit confusing. Like you're not really kind of used to working with less than and greater than like that. Like, so always go for this first one. Intermediate code string, pg13, what's going on? Everything. Let's run this again. Yeah, I don't know why this is not working for some reason. Okay, I think it's what I didn't select everything correctly. Yes. So this will be the other method for the equal to, for it's just one item, right? But you don't want to see basically where rating is this specific item or specific value, which is PG13. So this is just to consolidate, or just to make it what's the word, more clear to us. So we'll just do one more for the in. We'll do one more for the in. What if, and I think I'll leave you guys to answer this. So what if I want to see, okay, the title and the rating of the movies, right? But or just the film title, anyone, the title and the ratings, but I don't want to see where it is PG13, and I don't want to see where it is R rated. So please, I need your guidance on this. So anybody, please, Glory, please, can you guide me on this? Just be telling me what to do. Papa Charlie, you can also help her or join her. Are we there?
Okay, sir.
You guys should guide me. You guys should guide me. Okay. Okay.
Select
title,
rating.
Okay. Rating. Okay.
Then from film.
From film.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with you.
Where?
Yeah.
Rating.
Okay, rating
is not in.
Sorry. Not in. Okay,
in.
not in.
Yeah. Open brackets.
Okay, open brackets.
PG13.
PG13.
Comma. R.
Yeah. So let's try it out. Yes, so we have been able to see the answer. So if we scroll down, we are not going to see PG13, and we're never going to see R-rated movies, because we said not in PG13 and we said not in R-rated or R. So this is quite very interesting. This is quite very interesting. And very soon, or right now, we'll be moving to order by. So let's look at order by, and let's look at the questions for order by. But I have one question for you. I have not been asked this question. But like the question is, what if, before this order by itself, so since I wasn't asked this question, what if there might be nulls in my data? What if they were blank, or there's not that have any nulls? Let's say and we want to see specifically where they are null. So for example, let's say we want to see where the rating is null, where there's nothing in the rating. So where there is nothing, or let's say the rating is null. Like we want to say, okay, this is the place that, okay, there's nothing in the row within this row, basically the rating row. Like for example, so if you want to see where the rating is null, like I don't know, we have not really talked about null before, but I want to see it's something, because like in Excel or Power BI or Power Query, sometimes maybe when they give you data, some places may be blank or no. Yeah. So how do we actually, for example, you can actually write a query to actually give you the area where it's null. So if I want to see the title, but I want to see the title where there's no rating. Because what if, like, okay, we in the store, because remember the case study is like, okay, this is a DVD rental store, right? But there are some movies that we might not, or maybe we did not specifically classify the ratings. Okay, we didn't know what to put it. It's looking like a family friendly movie, but okay, but is it, should we say PG? Should we say PG-13? Should we say R rated? Because maybe there are fight scenes that are violent, like that kind of thing. Like it was not really classified or categorized properly, right? For example, so we want to see the movies basically where the film ratings is no. So where the film rating is not, meaning that like they didn't give it a rating, like in terms of like this, probably we should rename this rating later if but like this rating is not, because when you hear rating in film, for me personally, I think like, okay, rating like, okay, 1 to 10, you might think like that, but in this case is the what's it called, they want things like the PG and etc. So where the rating is not, so it's going to be very easy also. It's going to be very easy also. So I'm just going to edit this before we get to order by, which was I think Chloe's question. So want to see where the rating is null. An order by question will ask like, how do we sort? So we'll soon get there. We are almost there, and we have questions actually to address that. So we want to see where the rating is null. We literally say, okay, where rating is what is null. Where rating is null. Where rating is null. Where rating is null. So in some flavors of SQL, it works like, okay, it works like is null. Like you literally just write is null. But for this, right, for Postgres or pgadmin, we can actually use equal to. You can actually try it with equal to, and let's see if we are correct. So where rating equal to null, do we actually have a place? So we have no what's it called?
No value.
Yes, basically, yeah, in our rating, basically everything was properly rated. So actually, I think in is it Microsoft SQL Server, if I'm correct, you can say is null, but let's check it out. Let's check it out. Is null should work. I mostly use equal to null, but it's not my work. It's not my work. So it's 50-50. It still works. It still works. So you can say is null. So directly, as I said, is null, or you can say equal to null. You can say is null. You can say equals to null. You can say is null. You can say equals to null. And you can just like before, you can say is not null. So if you are using the equal to, so for example, let me do with the second one, which is equal to. If I'm using equal to null, I mean, just by saying this, if I want to see where it's not null, I can literally write, or I can literally change the query to be what? Exclamation mark, then equal to null. Basically not null. So maybe I should write it down here as not null. Not null. My rating is not null. Yeah, ask a question.
When it's not null, is it not supposed to return other values?
Yes, actually, looking at this, it's actually supposed to return other values. Give me a sec. Let me try it again. Let me try it differently. Let me try it differently. I'm actually wondering why. I'm looking at my query. So let's try it's not null. Yeah, I don't know why it did not work just now with the, because like when it's not null, basically it's supposed to return something. And let me try it again. So it's not null, literally return the normal things, but I don't know whether it's what's the way I'm typing this. Select title, comma, want to rating from film where rating is not null. So this should actually return it should return what just returned just now. So I think about this, I'll try to figure it out why this doesn't work. Why this doesn't work. But you can try it out. It could be from my end. It could be from my end, but so far so good. It's not worked. Equals to not work is not worked. So this should actually work. This should actually work. So I think it's from my end. I'll probably see I'll probably see what I can do about it.
Even
Did it work for you? Try
even on my
where
second,
rating. Try
it's not
where
working.
rating is not on your. It's not working on yours also.
Yeah.
But when you say is not null, like when you say is and not null, it's working.
I've not done that one. Let me try.
Try that one.
Yeah, the other one is working.
That
It's
one's
not.
working. So how about you, Papa Charlie?
Yeah, the same thing that's happening to yours is the same thing with mine. I think he's interpreting it wrongly.
Okay. But so far so good. We are able to use the it's not null. Basically, they're different. This is just us filtering. We're doing a very easy example, title rating, and like if you wanted to do like I don't know, we can just see this being used in different ways. Like a specific column is not null. You can just easily is null, it's not null, is null, is not null. So let's use those ones. Let's use those ones. Let's use those ones. Let's use
I
those
have a
ones.
question. Excuse me.
Ask your question. Ask away. Ask away.
Now that you brought the issue of null, I was asking, previously when you are using values, the numerics, you will write them direct without the quotations, but the text we were putting quotation, but for now you have not put and it has brought the answer. Does it
Yes.
mean
So the reason why is like it's just like how will I say it it's just like almost like select. The select is is select and the from the where. You don't see me writing what's it called a single apostrophe over them because like these are SQL statements.
okay? Then
Not
a second
they're not
question. Now that you have brought in the blanks, how do you deal with
no
the
problem.
blanks in SQL? Because for when we started, when you are lifting the data from Excel, you said you have to clean. So for me, even I would never have thought of blanks because I knew I should have checked it before bringing the data. So I wouldn't like my mind. I wouldn't have that thing of blanks because you and earlier said you check, you clean the data before you bring it in. So I just wanted to know how you deal with blanks in SQL. Hello. Am I lost? Hello? Okay. Hello?
I think he's having a network challenge and all those things.
Sorry, please can you ask the question again? Please could you ask the question again? Let me
Sorry. I'm asking.
Yeah.
Now that you have brought the issue of blanks, for me, my mind wouldn't have thought of something like null because when we previous class, when we started, you said before you bring the data, I understood you sent, you have to have made it clean. So for me, I would have assumed this data is not blank because it's something I've checked before it is brought in. So does it mean you have to check your data from the source it is coming in, or it's during the input there were blanks? So generally, I'm asking, how do you deal with blanks in SQL, and where do they come from, especially from outside sources?
Okay, that's a good question. That's a good question. So what I'll say about that is that like blanks are basically no values. Blank, another way of saying blank is no, like there's nothing in the column, right? So what you can do actually is that, let's say you are querying something, you want to find something specific. Let's say, find the name and maybe customer email address and like, their city, right? But like you don't want to output the blanks. You don't want to output the one that like basically like you want to output an empty row within your queries, like whatever question you want to answer, you don't want to output an empty queries. So this is where the null, the is not null comes in place. Like, so if I'm saying, okay, if I'm querying something, I'm trying to find an answer and I don't want to find where it's blank, I want to see, okay, where there's data all true. I want to see where there's data all true. That's where the is null, or sorry, it's not null comes in place. So I'm not bringing in what's it called? I'm not bringing in blank values. I'm not bringing in something that you will not see anything inside. I'm bringing, okay, something that specifically answers my question in all ways. In all ways. So I'm filtering for the blanks, basically. That's what the null is for. That's what we mean when we refer to nulls.
No, my question
Don't know
is,
if that.
I didn't expect to have nulls in the data set, because
Yes.
my assumption is that data has been cleaned before it comes in.
Yes.
So in
Yes, you
case
can
they are
clean your
there, how
data
do
before
you
it
deal
comes
with?
in.
Yes.
Yes, you can clean your data before it comes in, of course. But what if it's not, like it came in but it's not clean?
So
Yeah,
in case
that's
there are
the question,
null
right?
values, sorry.
You can filter out non-values, like within the answer you want to see, or within the query outputs that you are trying to look for. You can filter out what's it called, blanks or null values. You can filter it out. You
Okay.
can decide not to include it in your queries, because it doesn't necessarily answer your question, like, okay, where there are blanks. It doesn't it doesn't necessarily help you to answer maybe that specific question in that specific case. So you can be
Okay, thank
intentional
you.
about it and say, okay, where it's not null, and it brings out everything you need to see. It brings out what you need to see. So let's I think we can continue. I think we have pushed the order by a bit backwards so much. But let's go back to what we were trying to do, which was the order by. But we have been able to explore, so just take note, I've been able to explore many things happening within the where. So if you go all the way back, it's looking quite long, but no, we have talked about and we have talked about or, I've talked about in, or I've talked about not in. So within the where, note, within the where. I've talked about equal to, not equal to. I've talked about different ways of doing the equal to, not equal. So I've talked about several things within the where. Is null, like you can filter for where your data is not null. You can filter for the area that's null with the is null and it's not null. So actually, let's go to what I mean by order by. So we actually, what do we mean by order by? So order by, basically, as the name sounds, or as the name implies, as some people like to say, as the name implies, is just basically how to sort your items, like your outputs, basically, when you're writing your queries in SQL. Okay, you want to sort your outputs, you want to sort them out. Like, you don't want them to just be in a random order. You want to give them a specific order or specific order format. So let's actually look at the question. So we want to say, okay, for example, we want to say all the movie titles sorted alphabetically by the title. So all movie titles. So that's very easy for us. That'll be select all. Let me carry this. Select all. Sorry, select title. All movie title, right? Select title from film. That part is quite straightforward for us. Select title from film. It's already in alphabetical order, the way it's coming out. It already looks alphabetic, like it looks as if basically I think the data that was put like within like the Excel file and whatever the CSV file that was brought in was already, everything was already arranged. So even without me saying order by or this thing, anything by, you can see if I skip down, if I scroll all the way down, everything is ordered. So let's do it like this. But let me show you how we'll answer this question regardless, even though it's already ordered. Let's just imagine, right? Let's imagine it was not in an ordered format. So the question was display all movie titles sorted in an alphabetical orders. Select title from film. So let me show you how we do this. Select title from film, and I will say the order by. Order by what? The title. And let me add something else here. ASC. Order by title in ascending order. Order by title ASC. ASC ascending. You will not say ascending as you will not spell the full ascending when you're writing the SQL. You put it in acronyms. ASC. And of course, we might not necessarily, because if you remember, I think it's already ordered, like the order is already okay. We might not necessarily see the result here. So what we're going to do is we're going to reverse the order. To answer the question now differently. So display all movies entitled sorted in reverse, like in alphabetical order in reverse, basically. So how are we going to do this? So I want it to be something that we'll see like the main difference. And I will explain from there. So we want to sort in descending order now. We say DESC. And let's talk about this syntax after. So now it starts from Z. It starts from Z, right? Not from A anymore. So right. So basically, this is how the order by works. You want to sort your items. You want to sort. It's like in Excel, when you want to sort the items within a table, you can just go to that drop down, click on sort alphabetical, descending. Like we can sort our items. And this is just for text. We can also sort numbers in ascending or descending order, basically. We can also sort numbers in ascending or descending order. So what we did here, after we said select all from film, we said order by title. If I said just order by title without putting this DSC, so let me press dash here. Let's comment DSC, and let's say select title from film order by title. By default, it's going to be in ascending order. So one thing to note about the order by is that by default, it gives us an output in ascending order. By default, it works in ascending order. So meaning that like if I don't specify, so you can see me not specifying. Forget that this DESC is here. That's a comment. So I didn't specify that this should order by ascending. So even if I don't specify, by default, the syntax or by default, how order by works is that it orders your items, orders your output of your queries in ascending order. So it's until when and I say, okay, order by title DESC. It's until when I say order by title DESC. Until I mentioned DESC here before the order was like reverse alphabetical order from Z. I don't know if you are saying what I'm saying. Any questions?
Yeah, me have a question, but I have a question that is out of this.
Go
How comes for
let's
your query,
okay,
when you
go
write
ahead.
your query, for example, there you are writing descending, your system prompts you with that, but for mine is not coming. But like, for example, yours, before you write, it's bringing descending default. Is it a setting in the system?
Yes, so I turned on what I call I turned it on my own version.
Okay.
Auto complete, or some people call it IntelliSense.
Okay.
So I turned it on in my settings. that like, okay, anytime I want to do something, it gives me suggestions. It might look as if it has full advantages, very advantageous, which it can be, but it also has its disadvantages. It also has its disadvantages. It has disadvantages, but it just kind of, it can make you faster. So let me show you how to do it. For example, if you want to do that for yours, go to File, go to your Preferences, right? Look for Query Tool. Where is Query Tool? Query Tool, Autocomplete. So you see mine is on. Autocomplete is turned on. And I also set this one on. I think maybe that it's on. Yeah, I think I'll set it on. So basically, if it's also completing things for me, things like the select and all these things will be in capital or caps lock. That's what I did. Query, file preferences, if you want to have that for yours, file preferences. Personally speaking, if I if I wanted to play around with my preferences here, I would also change the background to dark, to a dark theme, but I don't want my, what's it called? I don't want my this thing to be different from others. What's it called? My display or my theme to be different from others. So I'm not going to,
Okay, no
I'm not
problem. I
going to
got
change
it.
it. Yeah, so if you're able to do that, so you'll be able to see this thing move as you change things. So order by title DSC, order by title DSC, and we'll have everything in the same order. Let's look at another question. Let's look at another question. Let's look at another question. So I think the other question is, what's the other question now? The question is to retrieve rental records sorted by rental dates in descending order. So this is going to be easy. Want to see the rental records sorted by rental dates in descending order. So let's look at this. So that will be select all, rental records sorted by rental descending order. Select all from rental. Remember, we have the rental table. So I'm going to, let's not forget to break it down from rental. Yeah, select all for rental. Of course, we want the result to be sorted by rental date. So if I say select all from rental, of course, we see everything in our rental table, right? So you can see it, right? But I want to sort it by rental date in descending order. What does this mean is that I'm basically going to sort this output, this entire output by the latest rental date. So I will say order by rental date. So as it is there, rental date. What would I say if it's descending order? What would I do after order by rental date? Anybody? Can anybody remind me if I'm ordering by rental date now? Remember the order by, if I just say order by something, without putting ascending or descending, it's do it by ascending order. But now I want to order by the rental date in descending order. So after I put order by, what do I do next?
You
Any
write
question?
descend.
Any? Yes, descend, but yes, DSC, not the full descend. That will be DESC. DESC. So basically to show me the answer or the output by the latest rental date. So I think I was wrong on this data that I said something 2006. I think it depends on where you look. So we have some rental dates being 2020. We have some rental dates being 2005. So it looks as if for the most part it's 2005 and maybe 2020. Seems like there were some updates. Yes. So you can see what's going on now. So instead of how it was before, you can see rental ID now is like basically the last, like the latest rental ID, because like of course by 2020 you will not see ID ones and two again. Like for example, in terms of maybe a new customer, since the shop has been there for a long time, you start seeing IDs longer than one, IDs longer than 20, 50, 100, because these are basically new customers. So I don't know if it looks, how does it look for us? for example. So let me do something. Right? Before I show us the next question, right? Let me bring in this. Let's bring in this one that we did that it showed us where ratings are not PG-13 and not R-rated, basically. Let's bring this in. And let me apply the order by continue. So this, and let me show you how it looks. So we're just doing select from our order by. So far, so good. But what if I have this, right? And I want to put order by. My question now is, where am I going to put the order by after? In the sense that, like, okay, am I going to say select from, then order by, or am I going to say select from where and order by whatever I want to order by? So like, what's our idea about this? Like, what do you think? Where do you think the order by is going to be placed, for example?
The last part. Number 2.
Why the last part? Why not before where?
Okay, because for me, I think we want to sort, but before we sort, we are looking for where the rating is not this. Then out of that, whatever the answer you get, I order by this.
Okay, that your answer is very correct. Your answer is very correct. So I want to get a little bit ahead of myself, or of basically what we know currently, and show us a very generalistic but important structure in terms of SQL. When writing queries in SQL, something you need to note. This is very important before we go forward, or as we go forward. So far so good, right? So I will call it order of operations, or general order of operations. Before we continue, general order of operations in SQL. Specifically, this is specific to PG admin in PG. So I'll say in PG admin, specific to PG admin. So what am I talking about? So of course, if I'm writing a query, I'll say the select. So we always start with the select. Select from. Always start with the select and from. Select and from. Select and from. Then the next order of operation, exactly where. This is like if you are writing this is the basic query stuff, like select from where, select from where, select from where. Then we have the group by. So the group by is a bit more advanced. So we'll move from the order by to the group by. But I want to show you the basic structure. First of all, select from where. Then we'll have the group by. So I call it the GHOL, the goal. The goal, right? Goal, anyhow. I call it goal. Group by. You have the having. Not sorry. Yes, group by having, sorry, order by. GHOL, order by limits. And yeah, this we have not really covered. We're still in the beginning. We're still so far so good. We're in select from where, and we're in order by. So basically, what am I saying? This is like if you are writing a very advanced query and you have the where, you have the group by, you have the having, you have the order by, you have the limits. This is how you are going to arrange your structure. But so far so good. We're not arranging around like this. Because why? We are not using a group by, for example, yet. So in our case, where we are not using a group by yet, I can comment the group by off. We're also not using the having. I can comment the having off, or let me take it off. For example, now, if I'm not using the group by and having, I'm using the order by. This is where to be. Select from where, order by, and if I want to put the limits now, limits is we'll get to limits. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves yet, but it's very simple. If I want to get the top 5, I'll just say limit 5. Now I have the top 5 or something. If I want to get the top 10, basically from my query now, for example, this is me getting ahead of myself, but let me say it. We'll get to this later and we'll have examples. But if, for example, right, let me just go back to something we've run. So if I want to say, okay, select title from this, and I want, okay, let me do this one. I want just the top 5, basically. Right, I'll just literally say limit 5. My spelling of limit is very bad. If I say limit 5, I just have 5. The top 5. Basically, it's very easy. We're not really talking about limit now, but that's basically that's basically limits. But yes, this is where, if I remove this limit, for example, this is where we are. Select from where order by. So we don't have the group by, we don't have the having, but we have the select, we have the from. So order by now. So in the absence of group by and having, order by will take the next precedence after the where. So what I'm trying to tell us is that this is general structure, the general arrangement. So select from where now, from the basics, you are supposed to start like having an overview. So like the order by now, I really appreciate Glory for the correct, giving us correct answer there. But what if she said, okay, the order by was supposed to be before where? That would have been wrong. But I want to show you the structure. So where we don't have the group by and having, the next thing is the order by. So the order by comes on top, because group by and having are not being used, they're not useful to our situation. So order by takes the next precedence after the where. I hope I'm not being too confusing. I know we have not really covered all of this, which we will, but yes, I really wanted to give us this general structure. Is that fine?
That's fine.
Okay, thank you very much. How about Glory? Glory, is that fine?
Yes, yes.
No problem. So let us continue. I think we have maybe one more question there to answer. I don't want to answer all the questions for us. I think we just did this. Sorted by date in descending order, by rental date in descending order. We just did this. So I would answer this one. I would answer this one. I'll answer this one. So the question now, right? He said display the first name and the last names of customers. So I'm sure it's the customer table we're going to use. Display the first name and last name of customers. So, sorted by the last name. If 2 customers share the same last name, sorted by the first name. Interesting. So this is multiple. Basically, what this question is going to address is multiple. We're sorting by multiple items within the order by. With the order by, we're not just sorting by one thing. We're sorting by multiple things. So let's explore for 2 things or more. Basically, which can be more. Let's explore the question. So order by, continue. Order by, continue. So let's explore how to go about answering this question. Basically, how do we go about answering the question? So just in case, I think maybe I should copy this all the way here. Can't you see? Let me not be moving back and forth too much. So let's copy this. Oh, this is so much. Let me do this. And let me do this. Do you know what I just did? Let me do this like this. Ctrl X. So what I just did just now, just for your information, so far so good. When we've been commenting, right, in SQL, we've been commenting on one line, meaning that like, oh, if I want to put like, basically I've been just single line commenting, like, oh, general order of operations. So if I wanted to comment everything from select all to limits, I will have to start putting dash 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 dash. That can be a bit redundant in terms of like time consuming and stuff. What if I want to, okay, everything here, right, from general to limits, I want to make it all a comment, so no dash dash in each line. What I'll do is very easy. See how I did here. Forward slash star. I start with forward slash star, then I end with forward slash star. With star forward slash, sorry, star forward slash. If I enclose this, if I make something like this, basically I've commented this entire rows. So this is a bit, it's not really tricky. Just see it like this. what you start with, you end with in reverse. And you always have to end it because, like you can see now, right now, I started with /*. You can see the colors have changed, general something. But if you go all the way down, everything like has become a comment basically because I have not closed this comment I created. So this like the reason why this is necessary is to if you want to comment multiple lines all at once. I want to comment multiple lines all at once. I don't want to be pressing dash per line. But the thing about it now, if I start writing select from where, let me just copy something.
Excuse
Right,
me.
select. Go ahead.
I'm lost. I don't understand why you're putting the slash in the
Yeah.
star.
What I'm doing is yes. So normally,
Are we
right?
writing
Normally,
a query?
no.
What are we doing?
Remember what I said? Comments. Do you remember when I said comment that if I, for example, what we did, if I say dash, for example, I run this, or it's not going to give me an error. It's not going to run anything. So it's successfully run because this is not a query. If I do it like this, it's like I'm telling SQL this is a query, but it's going to give me error because such query does not exist. General order of operations in pgadmin as a query does not exist. It doesn't make sense to Postgres or pgadmin, right? So if I do dash like this, basically this is a comment meaning that like it's basically not a query. It's just basically like I want to tell somebody more information about what's going on in my query tool or what I'm querying or something like that, right? It's also, I don't know if you also did comment your code in Power BI. Power BI, you also use dash or slash or // So what I'm doing now, right, is that okay, let's say I want all of this to be a comment because this I'm not actually supposed to writing on pgadmin like this because like you can see the colors popping or changing. This is basically telling pgadmin these are queries or queries. These are queries or queries. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to be saying things like this. Like this is it's not a query. It doesn't make sense to be writing things in Postgres that look like a query that are not a query. They are not queries. So what I'm supposed to do in this case is comment all of this. But what I'm saying now, yes, because like it doesn't make sense for me to start saying dash all the time. I didn't want to mention it earlier before, but it doesn't make sense until now. Like you can see, it's redundant. Like I'm wasting time trying to comment something when I could just comment the entire lines of code all at once, or lines of query in quotes all at once. So I'm saying, okay, instead of me doing dash from here all the way to the end, there's another alternative, right? And the alternative is commenting multiple lines. So multiple lines, 105, 106, 107. Basically, next line. I can comment multiple things all at once instead of me saying instead of me saying dash per new line, I will just do one or two things and it's done. It's a comment, it's not a query. So I'm not going to receive error if I run it or mistakenly run it, etc. Right? So I'm just giving us just something new. So I'm just saying what I said now is that to comment multiple lines in SQL, you start with /, then you write star. But the thing now is that what this has done is that everything under it has become a comment. And the reason why is because I started with /* and I didn't end it. So if I say star / at the end, now these comments, these multiple line comments has only applied to all of this. So you can confirm by going down and you can see select from where it's still looking like a normal SQL query. But if I cancel this, you can see the commenting color applied to there. But if I write it back, so it doesn't look like a comment again. I don't know if you get. Papa Charlie,
Sir.
do you get it, sir?
Yeah. I get that the / and the asterisk is used for multiple commenting. Why the dash?
Multiple line commenting.
Line
Yeah,
comment.
just for one line.
For me, I'm asking,
Mm-hmm.
do you always have to write comments? Because personally, I've not been writing comments. I'm just moving from one query to another. Is it a must
I
to do
mean,
the comments?
it's not really
Or
a
what's
must.
the
It's
importance of
just
comments?
the importance of comments is if you want to explain what you are doing now within your query to like Somebody can just open your SQL file, your query tool, and see what you're querying, and okay, can know what you did. Basically, it's for easy readability and like okay, people that like for people to understand what you're doing. Basically, if I don't know SQL now and I'm opening this thing, I'll just be saying queries. No, I will see some things that just say, okay, this query does this, for example, I'm okay. And that this query does this that you wrote. SQL, it's not lead to any errors within SQL because SQL does not recognize it as a SQL query code or query, what's it called? Yeah, query code for in quotes, right? It just recognizes as a comment. Oh, this should not be run as a query. This should not be run as a query. This is just you explaining or telling people or just writing something about your query, but you're not actually trying to query anything. I don't know if this explanation has been okay.
Okay, I get it.
Okay, so I just wanted to show you that. And let's go back to what we were trying to answer actually with the order by. Let's go back to what we're trying to answer. So I said, okay, display the first and last names of customers sorted by last name. And now, if the two customers share the same last name, sort them by first name. It looks like a scary question. So let's answer it. So we're interested in the customer table. So if I say select all, of course, always start from select all. I mean, in our case, right, in our situation, because we want to just see what's in the customer. We don't want to be writing queries and writing headers or titles that don't make sense. So you can see select all from customer. Before I start forgetting, I'm really getting tired. Okay, select all from customer. Did it run? Did I run it? Let me try it again. Yes, select all from customer. Yes, select all from customer. You can see several things going on, but you can see the first name and last name and etc. So what we're going to do, we want to display the first name and last name. Select, that will not be select all. That will be select first name, comma, right? That will be select first name, comma, last name. Then if we're there, that will be select first name, comma, last name from customer. Okay, let's put this from in the next line. From customer, order by first name. So we're trying to answer, remember we're trying to answer this question up there. Order by first name. And let's see what happens when we run this. Select first name, last name from customer, order by the first name. Let's see the output result. So what you can see here now is the answer about the first name and last name. But now it's order by first name. I remember I said if you say order by anything and you don't put how you are going to order, it does it by ascending order. So if we look at the first name column, you can see all the first names start from A, then B, then C. So A, B, A, C, A, D, like basically ascending from smallest to the highest. So from A to Z, from A to C, from A to Z, from A to Z. I don't know if you can see. Or was it last name? I was supposed to do it.
It's actually last name.
Yes, it's last name. That's actually true. I just saw it now. Order by last name. Order by last name. So that's the first thing. Order by last name. So if two customers now share the same last name, we sort them by first name. Basically, this question, right? So order by last name. Order by last name. So last name A B A D A L, like whatever. It keeps increasing alphabetical order. So the question now is just made to look confusing. It's not saying if two customers share the same last name, sort them by first name. Basically, you don't need to crack your head about this. Just also sort by the first name. So this is like adding another, what do you call it? Another kind of hierarchy, sorting hierarchy. Like we also want basically sorting by multiple items. But first, sort by first name first, then by last name first, then also sort by the first name. So you can sort by multiple items. So you are sorting by the first name because just in case now just in case they have the same last name. So if, for example, if you go all the way, okay, this is Adam and Adams. So I don't know if you can see, okay, Andrew and Andrews. Trying to see if we can see anything similar. Anything similar. Okay, that would be too that would be too much for us to start looking, moving through all of this. But basically, if maybe Chavez, if there's Chapman and Chapman, so if there's Chapman and Chapman, right? If Chapman and Chapman exist in our data, right? So which, like, if Chapman and Chapman appears in our data, of course they will have different first name. So it's not going to sort these two Chapman and Chapman by the first name in alphabetic, like in terms of like the first name in ascending order. So if maybe Chapman, if there was Chapman here and Chapman down, or Chapman here and Chapman here, and maybe here was Abby and here was Diva, right? Here will be Abby, and maybe the next one will be like something after A, so Diva. Because now, if two customers have the same last name, it sorts by the first name. So like, there's the order, just there's an order there. So sort by first name first, and also by last name first, and also first name. Basically sorting by two things, but the order is last name first. Last name is like has a higher ranking in terms of like sorting. I hope I'm not being too confusing here. Feel free to query me. Yes, so let's run this. So not just last name now, we're also ordering by the first name, just in case two people might have the same, two customers might have the same last name. So this is it. It just looks like a
So
confusing
quick
question.
guys. Ms. Andrew, it was
Yeah.
a quick question. So could we pull out let's say the customers whose name is Diana. Let's just see how many Dianas we have. Is that something we could do?
Yeah, we
Yes.
could do that.
Okay. So the
So
reason
who's
why I'm
giving me
asking is so that when we try that, then we'll see based on how many we get, if we can order it maybe by first name, last name, whatever. If we could pull out all their information.
So want all the customers. So anybody give me instruction?
That's why we're here, right? To
Select,
Yeah,
to
go ahead,
instruct
Papa Charlie. You're
not-
saying something. Let me
select
write it.
first name, last name.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just copy this.
First
No,
name.
hold on. So let's get all the information for Diana first. Because that's part the
So,
portion of breaking things down to a 5-year-old. You know, it's a difference between
okay.
queries at newbies and making sure they leave with quality information.
Okay. So start with select all, right? So Papa Charlie.
Yes, sir.
Okay, from the customer table.
Yes.
And how we do the where? Okay, where first name, right? Her first name is Diana. That'll be equal to Diana, just for Diana. I think Diana should be Diana.
Hey, perfecto. Okay. So we have only one person. So we may not be able to truly, order this. Because the order by it depends on how do you want to see the result. And it's very important to know that it doesn't change the data in the table. Are you guys with me on that?
Yes, sir.
It just changes how it pulls the report. Example, let's say if you want to see people's salary. You can say order by salary, ascending or descending. So what happens is it will put the person who has the highest salary on top. If you said descending, descending means highest to lowest. It's coming down. Ascending means lowest to highest. These are real reports they may give you to produce. Okay, we want to see the highest report, like Instructor Gosa said, everybody's giving me a result. You can have 10 managers giving you reports in real life. HR department would give you one. IT department, we want to see how many laptops we purchased last year. Order it by, let's say, manufacturer, Dell, HP, and all that. What would we do? It's a basic select query. And we've moved from the select star now. So let's try another name. Let's say Chapman. Or let's say last name is equal to Chapman. Or well, let's say, have you told them about like using like?
Not yet.
Okay, so we may not, let's not go into that. So let's see what other common name is there.
Karen.
Okay. Oh, well, let's do this. Let's do a select star from customer. That way we see the names that are inside, then we pull from there. Okay, we can see Patricia, Linda, We'll scroll down a bit. Sorry. Susan, Margaret, Dorothy, Lisa, Karen, yep, K-A-R-E-N, Betty, okay. Anyone else? Sandra, Carol, Sharon, Kimberly, Deborah, Jessica, Shirley, Amy, Rebecca. No duplicate names? Yeah. So, Gloria, are you still with us? Okay, so this is a perfect
Yes, sir.
example. So now this is a perfect example where we can use in. So let's use in and let's select 4 names. Let's use in, select star from customer where first name in. Yeah, this is a perfect example. No, we could just change the equal to in. Yeah, we could just, or if you want to do, we could say where first name in Janet, Marie, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we open our parentheses. And we could just maybe copy it from the one below, the result set below. So basically what it's going to do is going to find names that are if the name is Janet, if it is, let's say Catherine, Stephanie, Caroline, or Caroline, Marie, and all that. Or are there any specific names you guys would like to use?
I'm fine with the one currently used.
Okay. So then we can still order this. So now how do we want to see this? Do we want to see it by last name, first name? Let's scroll to the right. Let's see what other things are part of this called the result set. First name, last name, email, create date, integer. Okay, perfect. Don't worry about it. So we can say now we've done the where. So how do we want to order it by? First name or last name?
Let's use first name.
Okay. So we can say order by. And another thing is if you are using a where clause or a filter, the filter would always come before the where. What am I saying? The filter, which is the where, would always come before the order by. So we can order by first name. And when you, so another thing we have to realize is this, right? If the data type, depending on the data type, it may affect your order by statement. Meaning, if the data by type is, let's say, numbers or integers or stuff like that, ascending it to be from lower to higher. But if it's alphabet, like let's say numeric varchar character, it goes from A to Z. A to Z is its own form of lowest to highest. So now we're ordering it by first name. So you can see it starts with C, 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 J, M, Caroline, CA. Then it goes to CH. After C, it goes to J. After J, it goes to M. Even if you notice that the customer ID, you see 3 and 4, right? It put 45 before 44, ID 44. Any idea why?
Because we are ordering by the names and not the alphabets.
Thank you very much. And not the customer ID. You can also come and order it by customer ID to go 42, 43, 44, then 45. I don't know if that makes sense, guys.
Yes, sir.
So we have covered the in, where we have done a little bit of the where, the in, and the order by all in one query. So it's bit by bit, take it step by step. Okay? If you take it step by step by step, and you can see the instructor is saving his own query. you know, I would encourage us to do that as well. Any query so that you can always go back to it. If you need a copy of these queries, oh, it's okay to ask your instructor, please paste it in the chat so that we can review, so that you can have a sample of it instead of cracking your head for 10 hours. Any questions or concerns regarding that? That one query that covers where, in, and order by. We can also use, so let's use the same query and see not in. We just put the not there and let's see what it looks like. So it will give us everybody whose name is not Janet, Marie, Caroline, and Christine. It might take a while. Again, the more data sets you are returning, the longer SQL has to work. And you can see it starts with A, right? It starts with Aaron, AA, goes to AL. And if you scroll all the way down, if there's a first name that's Z, it would show you that. You can see that's why Zachary is the last. So now let's say order by last name, let's say descending. So we want Zachary to be at the top, the first name. So with order than first name space DESC. Okay. That means this is how you do it descending. So it's like the Z, the Z is at the top. It goes from Z, Y, W, blah, 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 blah. Any questions or issues so far?
No, sir, for now.
You guys think you will need a copy of the query or we're all good? Please ask, because you can see your instructor sees his own
I
queries.
think I'm good. It wouldn't be bad, but I think I'm good.
Okay. Because sometimes with this thing, just one small typo, one small mistake is like, this result is not giving me what I need to get. But that is just the concept of, filtering. You filter it with where, then you can use the in or not in. And when your instructor teaches you about like, and I know we are a little bit past our, our time for today, but it's not mostly how far, but how well. Constant practice would get us where we need to be. Instructors, where do you plan on rounding up for today?
I think we can round up. I think we're okay. We could round up now.
No problem. Have we been able to touch on averages and sum and things like that? Aggregate?
Not yet.
Okay. So I think we are two classes behind on that.
Yeah, on that one, we still went a bit. We went a bit ahead and we focused a lot on the where you can do with the where, the not in, the in, and everything like that.
Yeah, because I know we've been.
So our next focus will be.
Sorry?
I saw our next focus now will be dissecting the select. So all the sum, the not in, the if I say not in, the sum, the average, the distinct.
Okay.
Yes, that'll be what we're focusing on.
All right. No problem. But so far, how you guys? But did you guys think we had a good class today?
Yeah, I think so. Not bad.
I mean, SQL is not for babies, but it's not for babies, but with time we would, we would get there. We're not trying to rush anybody. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
All right. Let's feel free to pause the recording and call it a day.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, everyone.